Hi guys, welcome to another kit review. Hope everyone is fit and well and life isn't treating you too badly. Alright, so today we're having a look at a kit from Italeri. Kit number is 6523, 1/35 scale, and as you can see there's a Panzer I, Ausf B. Okay, so basically Panzer I, twin machine guns, okay, very early, well, late 1930s, did take part in invasion of Poland, but Panzer I, alright, didn't last very long as an operational frontline tank. Okay, so let's have a look at the box. So as you can tell, she's coming up a hill, firing both machine guns, and she's accompanied by two infantry, one is carrying an MP38 and the other one is carrying a Mauser 98. Okay, so not bad artwork. In fact, that would be not a bad diorama setting for this little tank. And I mean, this is a Panzer I, so it is a little tank. Okay, so let's have a look at the sides. So on the side we've got 4 languages: French, German, Italian and English, which is a brief history of the tank. Okay, so it says here early 1930s, Treaty of Versailles. Okay, so Ausf B version was an improvement of the powertrain, and then it says full text inside. So on the instructions it'll have you a full history of this vehicle. Little silhouette, that's the size, 11.5 centimeters. This is how long this tank is. It's not very big at all. Little tiny thing. Okay, so that's that side. Usual cautions. This one says under 15 years of age, and it's actually covering up 2 more brief histories in Spanish and Dutch, I believe. Okay, so let's have a look at the other side. 14 plus warnings. This does have photo etch in it. Okay, so looks like engine grill, a couple more warnings, and it does contain decals for 4 different tanks. So you've got the Balkans in 41, Russia in 41, Polish invasion 39, and France 1940. Okay, so that's, they probably wouldn't be used as frontline tanks in Russia 41, more like keeping down the partisans exactly. Anyway, enough of my rambles. Okay, let's have a look actually in the box. So this kit came out in 2015, this particular kit with this artwork. It has been reboxed several times before that, and it's actually a rebox of the very first Italeri Panzer I's came out in the 1980s. So it'll be interesting to see how this shapes up. Okay, so as usual, this kit came off the internet. Cost me next to nothing, if I remember rightly. $18 Australian. It's still available. I've seen it around. So pick one up, see how you go. Okay, instructions. Decals, which have been got at, by the way, so don't fret about that. I may have done that, or it could have been the previous owner. This does have, okay, individual track links, and that's the main sprues I should say, and it does come with a figure. Okay, so that's that, and this is the one piece of photo etch. Alright, so that's what you get in a pack. 3 bags, not too much. I'll get rid of this and we'll have a look at the instructions in a second. Okay, so here we are back again. Let's have a look at the instructions. Alright, so 6 languages, basic history of the Panzer I, okay, where it was used, what it was used for, warnings, 14 plus as usual, attention, be careful, don't stick your fingers together, etc, etc, don't cut your fingers off, look, you know, like that, okay, sorry, don't cut your fingers off, okay, and that's the front page. On the back, I'll show you that in a second. Let's open her up. Okay, so first page in, sprue layout. As you can see, there aren't many sprues in this. PE, sprue B, sprue A, and 4 sprues a track. Okay, so they do say this is link and length. There isn't much as far as the length is concerned. It is mainly individual links. And down the bottom here is your color callouts. So you have 11 color callouts. They have an FS number, and they also have Italerie's acrylic paint number. That's all. But this being a Panzer I, it would be Panzer Grey overall, unless you're going to winterize it, or maybe pre-war they were camouflaged with brown and possibly even green. That one you'd have to check up, but as far as if using it for 39 and 45, especially 1939, overall Panzer Grey. Okay, so there's your sprues. First step is fairly straightforward. Putting your wheels on, your drive sprockets, okay, onto the side, idler wheels, etc. Hook on the back. This is your basic construction of your wheel suspension units. Fairly straightforward, fairly simple kit, no interior, okay. So even though you can open the hatches, there's no interior. Then you come down to the hull. So there you go. You've got vision slits going on. This is going on the back here. Alright, side hatches. That's your top of the hull. Then we come over here. Alright, so these are a couple more accessories, etc. going on the back of the hull. Nothing too fancy going on there. And then literally it comes to putting the bottom and the top together, adding on some, and this shows you 2 times 3 links going together. So these are extra links going on the front of the tank, mud guards. And then, so this is your photo etch. It is actually the cover for your exhaust pipe, so it will need to be bent, okay, and it kind of gives you an idea. So you need to bend it around something which is 5.5 millimeters thick. Bend it so it fits over your exhaust pipe in the back, and that's your photo etch. Okay, so that would be probably the most complex part, and it wouldn't be hard to bend that round a pencil almost to get it to fit right. Pencils would be about 5.5 mils. Yeah. Okay, and then once you've done that, it's just a matter of fitting it on with the exhaust pipe, fitting all the other accessories, radio aerial, tools, etc., back mud flaps, etc. So there's your jack. Next step is towing cable, more tools and accessories going on, fire extinguisher. Okay, so all of it is going on the top of the hull. next step is the turret. So there's your crewman. He gets a pipe and a pistol. All right, so that could come in handy. I have heard that Italeri early figures were more like 1/32 as against 1/35. I actually haven't made any Italeri figures, so I can't say yes or no on that one. We shall see. But the pipe is an interesting accessory, even if you use it on another figure. Okay, and then turret. So 2 machine guns, vision slits. Okay, and then hatch. As I said, this has no interior, so it's up to you whether you leave the hatch open or not. And then the most complex part, probably of the whole kit, will be this. Okay, both sides it says. So guess what? You don't get to put just a track on one side, and it is all individual links apart from a couple of lengths down the bottom. Okay, and then once that's done, she's finished. Okay, so fairly simple, straightforward, apart from the tracks, which will take a bit of care, a bit of patience. Right, and then we get to painting her. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is an unknown unit in the Balkans in 41. So that would be probably anti-partisan duties. For some strange reason, Italeri has printed the tank number backwards. Okay, whether that's the way it's supposed to be or not, I'd have to use an internet reference for that, because, and we'll have a look at the decals at the same time now, so I'll put that aside. These are the decals. As you can tell, the previous owner's taken a couple of them out. Just a white 104, I believe, possibly a couple of crosses. That is the number, and it does look, it is backwards. So that would have to be, if you were going to make it the Balkans one, you'd have to do an internet research on that just to make sure that that's exactly the way this number was. Why they'd make the number backwards, I don't know. I think they may have taken that off a picture that was printed backwards. That's my thinking anyway. Anyway, that's the decals. Okay, so, and while we're at it, this, and I hope you can see this, this is the mesh for the exhaust pipe. It is very fine. It's just one PE part, so if you've never dealt with PE before, this is probably the best way to start. Okay, one piece, you really can't make too much of a mess of it if you take your time and do what it says and wrap it around something which is 5.5 millimeters in diameter. Okay, so that's the PE, that's the decals. As I said, full painting guides. Okay, fairly simple. Panzer Grey, France, Polish invasion, Balkans, and Russia, 7th Panzer Division. Okay, and that's the instructions. In a second, we'll have a look at the sprues as soon as I take them out of the bags. Okay, so there are only 2 main sprues plus the 4 track sprues. First one we're going to have a look at is bottom hull, top of the hull, vision slits, hatch, turret, tools, etc. So already I can see some nice detail as far as the hinges are concerned on the engine covers, and also bolt detail on the bottom of the hull. Alright, so let's have a look. So there we go, bottom of the hull. There's a spring detail on the side here. There are numerous bolts, etc. on the bottom, which would be nicely picked out, even though you won't see them. Good practice for picking out with a wash or something like that. Top of the hull. Hinge detail is very crisp and sharp. Might be a bit big, but I've never seen a Panzer I in real life, so I can't say yes or no on that. And some really nice bolt detail on the front panel here. Turret. Nice hinge detail there. Pity it doesn't have an interior. Does have separate vision slits which will go in the holes. Bottom of the turret hatch with, again, some really nice sharp hinges. There's your vision slits. A couple of them are crisp, and other ones are not so crisp. A bit of cleanup, I'd say. Hooks. Okay, your tools are very fine detail on the tools. Attachment point to the sprue is a bit heavy, but very crisp, very sharp tools. Really nicely done, actually, really nicely done. Alright, not too heavy, they're quite thin. I have seen some tools on other kits, tank kits, etc., which are like, it would be literally, you'd be holding it like this trying to do it. These are pretty much close to scale. Right, so nice detail on that sprue. So next sprue is this one. Contains the figure, all your wheels, drive sprockets, your suspension parts, cable and accessories for outside of the vehicle, including the front. Okay, so let's have a look at the figure first. So like I said, they do say early Italeri figures were more like 32nd scale rather than 35th. So let's have a look. Where is my... There we go. French officer, 35th scale. No, I would say, from what I can see, pretty much on par for a 35th scale. Maybe a little bit heavier than some figures, but he is wearing a large coat over his Panzer uniform. Cable, nice detail on the cable. Wheels, not too bad at all. Let's turn her over. So there's your cable detail. Yes, it does have some nice cables. Detail on the figure is quite good. Suspension, not yeehaw, not covered in bolts, etc., but still, drive sprockets, nice sharp teeth. Anything I always get concerned about is when they attach the sprues to an individual tooth. Yeah, but not too bad. Oh, and that is your figure's pipe, by the way. Okay, so that's the other main sprue. Main sprue. And the only other thing we have is 4 of these. Okay, so these are your track links. One short length, the rest is all individual tracks. So you've got 4 of those. So attachment points, 3 attachment points per link. So it might be a bit tricky to get off without breaking a couple. Hopefully there's some spares. But detail wise, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Got some good teeth on those. Yep. So all you'll need is patience, a lot of patience, and it should come out okay. And that literally, guys, is it. There's not much to it. There's not much to this kit. Not much at all. And it will not be a hard build apart from the tracks. And like I said, a bit of patience. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this one. As usual, I hope you got something from it. I always find that when I'm doing these reviews, I always find something interesting about every kit. So I hope you do too. So anyway, until next time, take it easy, and I'll see you later.